What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast, episode 95. We have made it. That's kind of crazy to think about 95 episodes. Anyway, how you guys doing this beautiful Saturday? Hope everybody is enjoying themselves. Thank you guys for showing up here. We appreciate the love, the support. Got a great guest lined up today. Got a bunch of great topics as well. So we're gonna go ahead and let the guest start with everything here. So go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Lazy, appreciate you coming on today, brother.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Lazy Black Gamer here. You know, I'm missing like Tupac, but you know, I try to come back around every now and then.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking some time out today, man. I know
man, brother, I appreciate you having me, man.
Oh yeah, man. Always. You like fam, man. Once again, thank you for taking the time. So we're gonna go ahead and go to some usual suspects here. So Fuzzy, go ahead and give yourself a shout out, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Fuzzy Belvedere here. Looking forward to talking some topic or about the topics today. A little under the weather, but we'll pull through. Got some important stuff to talk about today.
Oh yeah, definitely. And by the way, disclaimer, guys: Zalker's a little bit sick, Fuzzy a little sick, Lazy overworked. So we got a lit ass podcast today. We running on fumes, everybody, today. So we gonna get it done though. So Zalker, go ahead and give yourself a shout out, brother.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back. I wasn't here last week, but we got some some good-ass topics coming up. And, yeah, we're all right, man. We're a little under the weather, but it's all right. We'll get through it, and it's going to be a high-energy, awesome show. Let's get this shit going.
Let's get it popping. Once again, everybody, share the link, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button as you file in, man. Thank you guys for the continued support. We're almost at 1,100 subscribers, guys. I think we have like 8. I think I have like 8 left for the channel. So if you've not subscribed, please do that to hit that 1,100 number before the year is over, man. That is a huge goal of mine. So let's go ahead and just dive right in, man. Let's go ahead and start with the first topic. So as you guys know, I don't always like to stay on script. We do a lot of the same things all week. We talk about a lot of the same topics on these podcasts, so I like to switch it up. So I wanted to get you guys' opinion on what's the biggest turnaround or turning point or moment, essentially, this generation. I guess you could pick any not studio, but any company. Doesn't really matter. But the biggest turnaround you think this generation so far. So we're going to start with you, Lazy. What do you think is like a point in this generation that signaled a huge turn? Doesn't matter which company.
I mean, I've been thinking about it since I got the list, but I think my favorite turning point is when Microsoft acquired all of these studios and announced them at E3. I think that's that's my biggest turning point, because that let everybody know or reminded people that Microsoft is not fucking around, and you know, they about to take over for the 99 in 2000.
I get the Juvie reference. I caught that. Yeah, boy, I know what's going on. But okay, so you thought that was the biggest turn? That's even bigger than like the Xbox One X, maybe? That's bigger than that?
I mean, if that would have to be my biggest turning point for it last year. I mean, no, yeah. I mean, I think it is bigger than the X. Shit, you just threw me for a loop, man.
Oh man,
I chose my turning point. Like,
stick to your guns. Come on, man. Don't be folding so easy like a lawn chair.
Take him to him. But that just I think that it didn't quiet the naysayers 100%, but I just think that, you know, we were begging Microsoft, you know, to do something different. We were telling them to, you know, start snapping up studios. We want to see more first party shit. Mm-hmm. And that made me feel, or that solidified that they're actually listening to the fans. And I still think they got some more heat for us, but that just, you know, it made me feel more confident in Microsoft that, you know, this shit. I'm all flustered right now.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Well, I can come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can come back to you. Go ahead, Fuzzy.
I was thinking Xbox One X, but really thinking about it, looking at the grand scheme of things across, you know, all three, I honestly think the biggest turning point was when Terry Myerson was booted and Phil was, you know, promoted to the big boy table.
That's a good point.
Because it seemed like the I won't say floodgates, but it seemed like everything started coming together. Like Phil being in charge, kind of, or like being, replacing Matrick way back when was kind of a big help, but it was like an uphill battle. The real turning point, I think, was when it was like, okay, he's the exec, he's going to be one of the board members, and they started buying studios. They already had the funding for the hardware, which he had put in a request. It was doing well, and they started making a few more moves as far as like trying to move more hardware with the access program, where they were doing like the financing and stuff like that. And it just seemed like that was like the checkpoint that, all right, they got the whole company, finances backing him. Everything that he's looking to do, he can actually get it done now, as opposed to it being like, oh, we got this one exec that just wants to, focus on Windows and the heck with Xbox type of thing. Yeah. So I think for all three, that kind of opened up the doors for everything. And then even Sony started making some changes to like their PS Now, where they started doing, I mean, they probably started doing a little bit sooner than that announcement, but I think it wasn't too far apart from when they did the announcement for the downloading of their games. And, we had Game Pass, and Game Pass was starting to get more steam, and they were talking about how games seem to sell better in Game Pass because they, people see friends on their friends list playing games, and if they don't have Game Pass, they'll go ahead and pick up that game and so forth. So that, I'm going to say that's my turning point, but Xbox One X is definitely up there. Acquiring the studios is definitely up there.
Yeah. There's been a few.
For me, I think, yeah, but I'll go with booting Meyerson and promoting Phil to the big boy table.
I think it's I thought it was not funny, but interesting that you mentioned the Xbox All Access, because honestly, up until now, I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah,
I felt like they really haven't been pushing that since they announced it. I honestly forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that myself. To be honest with you, good point. There's been a lot of pivotal points this generation. The Xbox One X, like I mentioned, like you guys mentioned, Phil, obviously from the beginning. I think the funny thing about Phil is that I think what happened, with the whole Meyerson thing, I think that was inevitable anyway. I just think that they really wanted to battle test Phil. They really wanted to see what he was made of. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's battle tested now. He's been beat up in the media. He's gone through all this craziness, all these refreshes, and all this nonsense. He's finally where he needs to be at. Now he has his hands. He's right there next to Satya making the decisions. I think that's a crucial thing too. I think that may be the biggest thing overall, was getting Phil in there from the beginning. But Zalker, what do you think, man? Would you agree with that, or?
I actually have two parts that are the turning point. To me, the biggest one for Sony was honestly getting the marketing rights to Destiny. I feel like a lot of people felt like I know a lot of people that still think Destiny was exclusive to Sony.
Yeah.
So I think that one is the big one, because that was advertised like crazy. It was probably the biggest game coming out this gen for a long time.
Yeah.
And all the advertisement was PlayStation at the end of it, right? So that's what everybody saw, and that's what people bought. And they bought the Destiny bundles. They didn't even know it was on Xbox. So that one to me was one of the biggest ones. And then the other one, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with the X. I think the X for the last year has actually killed it. I think that it's sold a lot. It's done exceptionally well. People from NPD have said it. Analysis have said it. People that get paid to know this shit have said that it's like one of the biggest turnarounds or one of the best comebacks in the history they've seen in gaming. And it's because of the X. Don't have any frets about it. That thing's made amazingly. The architecture is on point. They put a lot of hard work and time into it, and they fucking executed it exceptionally.
I still don't think people understand how difficult that really was for them to
No, they had to create a whole different way of creating a freaking system. Like they named it after the guy that created it. So it's like, that's crazy. And they built it in with DirectX 12, all that stuff. Like, this is what we were talking about. And the system is amazing. So, yeah.
Okay, good point.
Those are the two.
Good point. So I do share those sentiments as well. Phil, huge. Xbox One X, huge. That was monstrous because we didn't know what was going to happen. And they literally hit the e-brake on the freeway. in the rain. So you know what I'm saying? So they really had to make that change, and they did it tremendously under a lot of scrutiny. They did it literally with Digital Foundry there. Like while they were doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like who started that whole, I'm going with the whole 1080p, the whole graphics and everything, that whole war this generation. So it was crazy. It was crazy. So kudos to them for that. And that was a great first opening topic, guys. So as everybody files in here, just drop a like on the video, say hello in the chat, guys. We always like to have fun there. So let's move on to the next topic. And this is a fun one because I hadn't really actually thought about this until the other day. I think me and Fuzzy we're talking about Cyberpunk, and we're having a discussion. I think it was on Xbox Live, and I thought about Halo Infinite, and is it in an awkward spot? Because what we know about what Sony's doing, what we know about what's coming up about the next generation, maybe 2020, everybody's kind of saying that's when this change is going to happen. We know we're not getting Halo 2019. We know we're not doing that. So if 2020 we're talking launch cross-gen maybe. Or what is it? Would you guys think Halo is going to be in an awkward spot, or does it really not matter because it's Halo? So we're going to start with you again, Lazy. What do you think about Halo Infinite? Have you really thought about that?
I mean, I've never really been a Halo guy.
Okay.
Only game that I really love.
What the hell does that mean?
Damn. Hold on, I almost grabbed on my knife, man. Chill out. I mean, I like Halo, but I mean, the only game that I really loved was Reach. I mean, that's neither here nor there. I just think, as far as Infinite, I think they announced it too early. I think they're getting a lot of fans' hopes up that it's going to come out on X. I feel like it's going to come out on Scarlet. I mean, I felt like they just wanted to get people on the bandwagon as far as that, and as far as the Scarlet news. But I feel like if they were going to show it, they should have showed more than that with that little tech teaser or whatever. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like they showed it to us too early, and now everybody's gonna have to wait. I don't think we're gonna see it until like 2021, maybe 2022.
Wow, that's pretty far. I mean, I could that realistically, that's kind of far, but because it usually doesn't come too far after Gears, and we know Gears is coming next year. But you never know. You never know. That's what I'm saying. The question is,
I mean, do you honestly think that we're gonna see it in the next couple of years?
I don't know. That's why I posed the question. I mean, potentially, I think maybe 2020, late 2020, potentially. That's probably the earliest.
I think it's 2020, and I think they're going to launch it with the new Xbox. I think they're going to take a page out of Nintendo's book, put your best franchise like Zelda in front, and launch with it, and then start it off fucking huge. Because Halo, if you looked at what the person's put in lifetime sales of games, Halo is like number 6 or 7 all time on Xbox One. Halo 5 is. It's like competing with Call of Duty. That's how big Halo is. It is their ultimate franchise. They have 500 developers working at 343. Halo is Halo, man. That shit still has a name. That shit still sells. And when they launch a system, they want that shit to be competing with, either Last of Us 2 or whatever. They got to put their best franchises out there.
I don't see. Like I said, I know what the Halo machine has done. I know what it can do. But as far as like being up there with Last of Us, I just don't see it. I'm being on the outside looking in. I just don't see how much leg that machine has. I feel like Infinite's gonna be. I feel like Infinite's gonna be the swan song, and they're gonna have to. I don't know. I mean that's just me. I mean,
if they didn't announce it this year,
Halo guy, more optimistic Halo guy here. I don't know.
I know, but you're not like you said, you're not a real big Halo dude. I mean, I know people that play like they're not even huge gamers, but they play Halo, and they played Halo in 2015, and they're just sitting there going like, where the hell's the next one? It's like, that's a 5-year waiting cycle. That's a lot. That builds a lot of hype. They showed it at this past E3. If they didn't show it at this E3, I would tell you it's not coming 2020. But they showed it at this E3, and usually when they show games, they're not that far off.
I mean, they showed Crackdown like how many years ago?
I know, but that was a different team, different leadership, different shit going down. Now it's different. Phil Spencer when he shows a game, it's getting closer to being out. right? The only one, then it's because of problems like they had with Crackdown and because of what they had with Scalebound, right? So people keep going back to that rhetoric of like how many years ago, but it's completely different. Xbox is completely different. And that's just what, like, the past two E3s have shown that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, it's tough, and that's why you pose the question: is it in an awkward spot? Because there's some people. There's some evidence you can say it is, but there's a lot of people that's like, well, not really. It's Halo is going to do what it's due. I'm kind of back and forth with it. I don't think Halo is ever really in a bad spot. I think coming off of Halo 5, they have a lot to, I guess, I don't want to say make up for it. A lot to prove. Yeah, they do. I believe that they do, because there was a lot of people who left Halo 5 with questions. No doubt the multiplayer has done tremendous. The franchise is what it is. I do agree there. I don't think it's in a terrible spot. I really don't. I think that, like you said, it makes perfect sense what Zarker said about leading with your biggest franchise. You might as well, especially knowing what's coming down the pipeline when you got these other studios lined up to make games, consistently behind it. In the next 2 years or so, 3 years, maybe you're going to start seeing games from the studios that they've purchased, or at least start seeing like what they're working on. So it's not them bolstering their studios allowed them to allowed Halo to give to have a little breathing room. Like, okay, we have all this other shit that's going to come behind it as well. Because think about if they didn't go out and buy out them studios, how much more pressure would be on Halo Infinite to be very good, like to be like that massive game that all the other Halos should have been. Now Halos looks like it's going to be just a great game. It's going to come out. It's probably going to be way better than people expected, because who knows, expectations are probably going to be pretty tempered, and it's going to do what it's going to do. I think it's going to do great. I don't think it's going to do bad at all. New engine, very interested to see that. A lot of people are interested to see the changes there. I think it still garners a lot of interest. So did I get to you, Fuzzy, about this?
No, I think I think the main thing that worries me on the timeline is the new engine. Although I know those guys can churn out stuff in a reasonable amount of time. But I think this is going to be one of those cross-gen ones, but it's mainly geared for the launch of the Scarlet. I hope they can get all the bells and whistles squeezed in there in time for the launch of the Scarlet. New engines usually mean a little bit more dev time. I would fair to guess that maybe the single player aspect of it is ready at launch. Maybe the multiplayer they pull like a Red Dead and delay the multiplayer a little bit. I don't know if that would be well received or accepted, but
yeah, I don't know how that would go over.
That would be about the but that would be about the only thing I could think of as far as if they do hit a wall with the time crunch. But 2020 launch with Scarlet, also playable in high fidelity on the Xbox One X. Just you might get lock 30 frames on the story mode as opposed to the Scarlet being able to do lock 60 both multiplayer and single player. So
I think I don't think there's a time crunch. I don't think there's a time crunch anymore. I think there was before when they had a budget, but I think that people, I'm not saying they have unlimited, but what I'm saying is I think they see, yeah, they're fucking Microsoft, let's be real here. And they've gotten, Xbox is moving up the ladder. It's pretty damn profitable for Microsoft. And I think they understand that, you need time. And that's something that even when Spider-Man came out, right? And Insomniac said the only thing that Sony did is when we called and we're like, we need more time, they're like, okay. And that's it. Conversation over, budgets brought up. It's all good. Don't worry about it. And that's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think Microsoft has noticed from that. And I think they're going to do that with Halo. They know Halo 5. The multiplayer was amazing. People still play that damn game. The multiplayer is amazing. Everybody loves the multiplayer. It's a really good multiplayer. It's the single player that was bad. I think that's what they're trying to fix. And once they fix that, it's like, and you have that multiplayer, what the fuck else? What are you going to do? Right. Yeah. And I think they're trying to get it right. But I also think they're trying to update the engine so it can work with DirectX 12 better, use those textures better, and make it better over time so they can bring out Halos, not as fast, but just more efficient and add more content to it.
Yeah. So, you know what? The funny thing about this Halo talk is that we have not even brought up a single fact that there may be a lot of us thinking that this may be a first open world Halo as well. So there's a chance that they're looking at doing this one a little bit different, because what I got from the trailer, and I don't know if anybody noticed, but what I got from the trailer is showing the animals, showing the environment. Obviously, you want to show where you're at. They're on another installment, another Halo ring, obviously, but showing, panning out, showing the vast environment. I'm getting a sense of, just immersion. Like, hey, this is a big place. Like, to me, that kind of screams open world. I don't know if it's a subliminal. Maybe I'm reaching. Let me know if I'm reaching. But did you guys get that sense as well, as far as it being maybe a different kind of Halo? Maybe we get an open world Halo this time around.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, to show the world, to show the environment, and then when the Halo title came out, like all those like light shooting up, like what are those, right? Like what are they making those? Are they making those hubs? Are there places that you go to? But the thing I'm looking forward to the most is playing with my buddy in co-op. That's something that like Halo just thrives on, right? Like I beat Halo 5 on Legendary with my buddy, like 2 of my buddies. So 3 of us went out there and we beat it in Legendary, and we had a lot of fun. I know people hated Halo 5, but we enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Like, cause we played together. And that's why I don't know if it's in an awkward spot. I think every franchise that Microsoft is working on is in an awkward spot because of the hate they've gotten this entire generation. So yeah, I just think they need to execute it pretty damn well.
Okay. Would you guys agree about that? Open world Halo?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they'll give it a try.
I can see it happening. That's not the idea that I got from the teaser, but I mean, it seems like they're trying to do, Microsoft as a whole is trying to do everything bigger and better. So I mean, where else can the Halo franchise go? I mean, open world. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they wanted that for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see it happening. That's not the idea that I got from the trailer, but I could definitely see that happening.
Okay, cool. Nothing wrong with that, man. That was another great topic, guys. So once again, thank everybody for joining us this Saturday, man. Everybody in here hanging out. Just drop a like on the channel as you come in or as you go. Just say hello, bye, whatever the case may be. We gonna keep this thing moving, man. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. So this next topic is kind of a specialty of mine because I've been really, really hyped about this game probably the last 2 or 3 months, especially since the XO event. You know, some trailers that have come out. Come on,
lies. Those are lies.
Come on now, man. Come on now. I done did a video. Go check my archives. Not just playing.
Okay.
I had for real. Check the archives. No, but I've been really excited about the game. So Rage 2, some new information dropped. But is it going to be one of those games that's not? You know, a lot of people haven't really talked about it. I mean, maybe haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but it's coming out next year in May in a really good spot. May is kind of I won't say a dry month, but I don't know really anything else big coming out in May.
Nothing else in its way.
Yeah, so it's a great position, I think, to get a lot of its own shine. So what do you guys think about some of the new information about it being 60 frames on everything? I don't know if it's locked 60. There's a bunch of other info to come, and I gotta actually pull it up here. But have you guys been impressed about what you've seen so far? And I want to start with you, Lazy.
I've been impressed with what I've seen. I was very impressed with what I played. I think the 60 frames is definitely happening. I got a chance to play a small part of it at E3 earlier this year, and it's fantastic. I think Rage is gonna shit on everything. I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a GOATY, but I think it's gonna be something that everybody's gonna be talking about. I'm not sure how long everybody. I mean, we got to get closer to that day, see if anything else is going to drop around it. But I mean, if it stays how it is now, I think Rage is going to really get people talking. I
guess the only big knock is no multiplayer or co-op.
It don't need it. It doesn't need it. It would be nice. It does. The sequel does give me that Borderlands vibe, but I don't think it needs the multiplayer or the co-op. We know that shit. My bad. I think that the stories that they're going to be telling with Rage is going to be yeah, I'm sorry, baby's crying downstairs. I'm low key distracted, but I think that. Hold on,
we can come back to you, bro.
No, I gotta go downstairs. I'll be back.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do. Go ahead, Zucker. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this game is actually something that like blew me away at E3. It is like it's every time you see it, it just gets better and better, right? The trailer E3, I was like, damn, this looks fucking legit. And then they put that on the Game Awards, and I was like, Jesus, like it looks amazing. And it kind of, and it is going against, the new Far Cry game, Red Dawn or whatever the hell it's called. It's going against that, but man, Rage 2 just looks freaking amazing. Like I can't. I know a lot of people that like I wouldn't even expect to be like, hey man, I kind of want to play that game because it looks like Doom within like a freaking like open world. Like fuck yeah, like let's do that. And then throw in a little bit of Mad Max with the car shit. Like like the game just looks fun. It looks like it's just action packed, and it looks like it's just going to be like kind of crazy. Like you're going to see a lot of clips of people doing some random shit on Twitter, making gifs of like crazy shit they've done.
I want to read you a couple things too, as far as some information that just came out about it too. So let me read this down to the panel so you guys can understand. So 60 frames, I guess, on everything. It sounds like on base consoles. Armor is fully breakable on all enemy types, which is very interesting. Fully breakable armor on everything. Obviously, you can choose between a male or female protagonist. All weapons have a overdrive massive damage move, which means every single weapon in the game has some kind of bonus or like, I don't know, overdrive mode or something. And then there's in-game loot. So obviously it's going to be a looter shooter. Going to be a little bit in-game loot. Maybe not as in-depth as like Borderlands, but there's going to be a loot system, which is always great for us, grind freaks that love grinding and shit. So then there's no multiplayer aspect as well. So, and now knowing that, Zalker, what do you think now? Because
I mean, now I'm even more hyped. Like fuck, because I think that's one of the biggest thing. I like the breakable armor. It's a new thing that companies are doing because if you remember in The Division or even Destiny, you're just shooting someone for 45 minutes and they're just bullet sponges.
Yeah,
and you're just sitting there shooting them, and it's like But if you can like start getting weak points, like shooting armor off or shooting stuff off of them, and then actually targeting certain parts of their body to cause more damage, that's freaking legit.
That's very RPG-esque as well.
Oh yeah, man. And I like how every gun, if like let's say you like a gun, you can level it up and do better with it, and that's awesome again. Yeah. And then 60 frames on everything. Obviously, we're gonna see what the resolution is and 4K textures and all that. See what they're gonna do with those on each system. Obviously, the X is probably gonna run the best, so I'm happy about that. And I mean, loot, just give me that game, like honestly. and I'm playing a bunch of games right now, like open world games. So I kind of need a break from them. Like I'm playing God of War right now, and I wouldn't say it's open world, but it's actually pretty big. And I'm not spoiled on anything. I haven't been spoiled. I got my Pro. My buddy let me borrow all these PS4 games, so I'm going through it. And God of War is blowing my fucking mind.
Oh yeah, great game. Sir. Great, one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yep,
book it. So
I feel like Avalanche, id and Bethesda know where their faults were with the first game, and I mean, I honestly loved it. I've been waiting for Rage 2 for years. Everybody hasn't had those same sentiments, but they know where they fucked up. They have that motivation to make sure this game is what they want it to be, and the story. And I mean they already knocked it out the park with Doom, so and they're gonna knock it out the park with Doom Eternal. So I think that they've been working on Rage 2 this whole time, and they have that date set, so it's where they want it to be. I feel like it's all those people that had shit to say about the first Rage are gonna really end up loving it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and you know what? Let me go ahead and roll this over to you, Fuzzy, because I know you've talked about it before multiple times with me on the podcast, behind the scenes, whatever the case may be. So, what's your opinion? I don't know if you know what I just read off. I don't know if you knew that already, but
yeah.
What's your opinion?
No, I saw. I forget who it was. It was some sort of what was it, Drunk Cat or something?
Yeah.
That posted that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're going to have 60 frames on even the base consoles. I was already looking forward to this because it's like a combination of two games I really like, Doom and Mad Max, and I really wanted them to do another Mad Max. And there was a rumor before that there were, because there was supposed to be another movie one, and then I guess that deal fell apart. But the big thing on this game, I think the only hindrance it's got is that it's going to have that Bethesda stink on it right now, because it's what do you call them, Fallout 76 and stuff. Yeah. But beyond that, I think once this game launches, it's going to blow people's minds, and it's going to do well. But I think in the meantime, it's going to kind of get pushed to the side, other than those that have already expressed that they're looking forward to it. And I think it's going to just be like one of those low key games that comes out, and then it's just going to explode.
If Anthem ends up being what I think it's going to end up being, then it may still. I mean, I don't want to say still, but it may have a tougher time being the big game that it should be, or getting the type of love that it should be. If Anthem ends up being what it may end up being, I think that may be tough because they're not really similar games. They're really not. But as far as like what they're doing, but they're close enough, and as far as close enough in genre, so where people are going to spend a lot of time, and depending on what they do with Anthem and the DLC, and as content comes out, people may find that they may not have enough time to do both, like play both. So I don't know that may. So I get your point there.
I think,
and the other thing I like. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say with like the destructible armor and stuff like that. That's one of the things that they fixed on Division 2. Like you were talking earlier, Zucker, about the bullet sponges and everything, and they realized that a lot of people had a hard time wrapping their mind around laying 32 bullets in somebody and they're still ducking behind cover. So now they're going to have like some of the armor and stuff that'll fly off for like the juggernaut type of enemy types that you'll have to fight. But if Rage 2 is going to have that's a awesome sign as far as constantly going in and grinding to get more loot, more weapons and things like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
You had
low key, I'm like kind of lost my train of thought. But, no, man, I think that it has enough room to breathe from like Anthem and all this. I mean, I think Anthem's going to be a great game. I think people are it's going to grab that Destiny audience.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
EA and BioWare has been working on it for a long time. I guess what the attention on development was shifted from Mass Effect
to Anthem
onto Anthem, right? Yeah. So I mean that's why
Mass Effect
felt like
the B team.
Andromeda was the way it was.
Yeah.
But I feel like they put enough of their big guns behind it that it's gonna do well. But I think that Rage 2 has that breathing room that by the time May comes around, I don't think Anthem's gonna get in its way. So I mean, I think people are still going to be playing Anthem, but at the same time, all right, I turned Anthem off. What do I want to play different now? Oh, I'm gonna hop on Rage 2. I mean,
it's another interesting thing too. When are we going to see another Destiny? If Sony's not doing E3?
Hopefully.
I know we're not getting Destiny 3 next year.
No. I don't think Destiny 3 next year.
I'm pretty sure they're working on the next big expansion, but I don't.
You think there's another expansion for 2? I thought they were.
I don't see 3 coming. I don't see 3 coming next year.
They already have 3 expansions coming out for this. The after the Forsaken, there's like 2 or 3 expansions coming out after that, like that you can get for a season pass or some shit. One of them just came out like a week ago. I don't even remember.
I still haven't played Forsaken.
Okay.
But people are saying don't even get the expansions if you're not like the max level, because everything in that is max level.
You're right. I've heard that. I've seen videos about that, and people saying that it's been tough because a lot of people aren't at that level, that 600 and whatever it is level now. The max level you have to be. So I've heard that, but I didn't know there was more expansions coming out. So they're just going to extend Destiny 2 then, I guess. I guess that makes sense if they're not going to do E3 next year. So,
well, they're going to expand Destiny 2 and put more microtransactions. Activision said that the sales for Destiny Forsaken was very disappointing to them. They're just hitting.
Yeah, they did kind of throw them under the bus.
Yeah, they're hitting the fans in the face, man, and it's laying the woodwork. It's like laying the gold freaking brick road for Anthem.
Yep,
it is, man.
Yeah.
It's like if Anthem executes what they're doing, man, it's gonna get pretty bad.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I think Anthem needs is, one, they've showed customization, they showed a lot of stuff, combo points, so it gets those nerds, the stat nerds, right? The people that like actually doing shit like that. So I've seen that already. The one thing they need is content and end game. Yep. If they hit those, especially end game, if they have end game shit, then Anthem will overtake Destiny. If not, then it'll be just like any other game, just like just Destiny.
I mean, I'm low key tired of Destiny, man. Destiny's like a bad girlfriend who's cheated on me a couple of times. I still got love for you, and I just can't mess with you till you get your shit together. I'm tired of throwing my money at them, dude. I paid $150 or whatever for that first Destiny Collector's Edition.
I did too.
And after like a couple of months, I ain't had shit to do. I was bored. They came with the weak sauce with those expansions. It took like 3 expansions for them to actually get to where they wanted Destiny to get. Then 2 came out, took all my damn experience away. I had to grind again and then hit a fucking wall with that Osiris. Goddamn, I'm still mad that I bought that guy.
Yeah, I bought it too. I bought the season pass. Thinking I was gonna be able to get Forsaken as well.
I want to get Forsaken. People are talking good shit, but I mean,
well, I'm saying that I bought the season pass thinking I was gonna be able to get that too. Like that's outside of the season pass, correct? Like the first Destiny, how Taken King was just outside of, like, even if you bought the season pass in Destiny 1, remember that?
Right.
Taken King was not part of that. You had to rebuy Taken King. So
I mean, anything that Activision touches, it just seems like it's going to shit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I don't know. I don't. I didn't know that you said the sales of Forsaken were disappointing.
That's what Activision said. They said,
but Bungie said that they were very proud of where it went. Like they put out a press release like right after Activision said that. She was like, low key, like, how the fuck y'all gonna throw us under the bus? We proud of it. We proud of what the hell we did, and it got good critical acclaim.
It did.
It just didn't. As far as the investors, it just didn't make the money that they wanted it to make. Low key.
I just think a lot of people didn't buy the next expansions or shit like that. I think people bought Forsaken, but they didn't engage in it. Like, it didn't bring user engagement to like buy the next ones. Because I know a couple people that are hardcore that bought the new expansions, but everybody else, like, I don't know anybody playing Destiny outside of the hardcore.
Just like me. I'm fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fuck you.
Yeah, I feel you on that, dude. I have not. I've been so close to pulling the trigger on that Forsaken DLC so many times. Xbox sales, summer sale, everything, bro, and I have not pulled the trigger just because.
I'll pick up the DLC if it has a decent price on it during the holiday sale. But if it's not, like, if that shit not $20 or under, I'm cool.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too. I think if it's 20, I'll get it just because it makes sense. $20 can't go wrong with that. Get a bunch of content, but other than that, bro, I am not fucking with it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Once again, thank you for joining us here today. As you file in, hit that like button. Helps the channel be seen. Helps the podcast be seen as well, man. So thank you guys for chopping in today. So we are on to essentially our last topic here, guys. Essentially our last topic. But what I'm going to do after this is we're going to go to the chat for questions. So if you guys have questions, shoot them right now in the chat. Let us know. Go ahead and type them up. Drop them in the chat. We'll get to them as soon as we get done with this topic. So this is a funny video because I'm actually kind of stealing this topic because I don't know if you guys know, but Ryan McCaffrey recently did a video on IGN, basically giving a full breakdown on the state of the Xbox first-party studios. Essentially, what he did was go down the list and break down which each studio is currently working on. It was pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video, but I wanted to get you guys, essentially opinions on what's going on with the studios. Who do you guys think's the closest? Who do you guys think's the furthest? What each one maybe could be working on. Kind of a brief summary. So we're gonna start with you again, Lazy. You don't have to go through every single one, but maybe just a general idea on what you think's going on.
Okay. Obsidian. We saw Obsidian had the Other Worlds. That's what I'm very excited for.
Oh man.
I mean that's the closest we're gonna get to a New Vegas sequel. So I think they're gonna make us shit their pants. They might be first up. They might be first. I mean, it's definitely coming to Xbox One. I mean, it's a short thing with me as far as them. Playground. Wait, Playground is supposed to be working on Halo, right? I mean, not Halo. Shit. Fable, right?
Well,
yeah.
Rumor
has it, maybe not.
What else could they be fucking working on?
Their open world, their own open world game. Their rumor has it they have
I'll
pretty different idea.
I'll send you some things. in your DMs.
Okay. Coalition. I'm extremely excited for Gears of War. I've never been a multiplayer dude. I've never been that competitive Gears of War dude. I've always been invested in their story, and I really think like I felt like they lost their way with Gears 4. So when I saw what they had to show with Gears 5, it pumped me the fuck up. I like that they're doing like the filming with mocap as far as their cutscenes go. The cutscenes looked amazing.
The game looked amazing. It almost looked like a new engine.
And I love that. I love that they caught everybody off guard from shifting the focus to Kate is instead of JD. I like what he has going on with the fucking scar and the broken thing that he and the broken personality he has going on. But Kate was my favorite person out of everybody on Gears 4, and I love that they shifting. They taking charge with the whole female protagonist thing, and I love that they shifted the focus. It looks like the story is finna go somewhere that I'm very interested in. Like how I felt, how I felt with Dom's story in Gears 2 when he finally found his wife, man. Shit, what the fuck am I? But yeah, I think Coalition is gonna get it cracking next year. Compulsion games, I'm kind of disappointed in. Nobody really talked about. Damn, I forgot the name of their game already.
We Happy Few.
Yeah, We Happy Few. I really thought it was gonna pop out. I thought it was gonna be like the next BioShock, and I felt like nobody played it. So I'm really curious.
Shout out to Invader. Invader plays that game religiously. So shout out to Invader if you listening live, bro. Shout out to you. But I don't know a lot of people that play it as well. So.
Like I didn't see any. Like I usually, when these hot games, because what We Happy Few was fairly anticipated, but it's like when it came out, I heard nobody talking about it. I saw nobody posting like pictures from Xbox or PS4. So it's like what can they do? Like they have to be working. I didn't hear anything about DLC or anything coming out for We Happy Few, so they have to be working on the next game. So what can they do? What can we see next from that studio, and how can they improve on what I feel is like not a commercial? Well, not even a commercial failure, but I don't know. I'm very interested to see how they can pull themselves out of that.
Okay, cool. It's what about you, Zalt? What do you think, man? State of the first party studios.
We all know what 343 is doing. I think that's coming out 2020 with Halo Infinite. Coalition, I freaking love them. I think they're the best developers that Microsoft has next to Playground. Gears 5 looks phenomenal. It's gonna blow some faces off. It's gonna be legit. What else is there? Playground Games. I think that they're gonna take a 3-year till the next Forza Horizon. I think the next one's gonna be coming out 2021. And I think Fable or whatever they're working on is going to come out either the same year or 2022.
Wait. You think that they're not going to come out with the next Forza game until
2021, 3 years. I mean, the next Turn 10 has already said the next Forza Motorsport's not coming out next year. So,
that's right.
So I think they're going to do the same thing with Horizon. I think Forza Horizon 4 is an amazing game, best racer ever made, but I think a lot of people got a little bit fatigued. So I think they're going to take a 3-year development cycle and kind of revamp some things, do shit differently.
People haven't really been feeling that new expansion that just came out, right?
Some people have liked it, some people haven't. I haven't played it, but again, I played the shit out of 4, so I have a lot to do in 4, so I'm not too I'm okay. I think the Initiative is going to make a fucking banger, and I think they're going to come out 2022, maybe later 2023. We don't know. They're still building that studio. I think they're going to give them a lot of time to really polish that bitch out. And Ninja Theory, I kind of have a weird feeling that Ninja Theory is not going to make a story-driven game. I think it's going to be multiplayer because they've never had the chance to, and they seem like fuckers that want to do something different. And I think they want to challenge themselves. And apparently, Xbox has gone to each developer and said, "What's your wildest dream?" And I think, multiplayer is expensive to make, especially with servers, all that, what you got to do. So I think Ninja Theory is going to do something like that. And I think they're the closest to launch.
that would really disappoint me if Ninja Theory. I mean, I don't know. My whole philosophy is if it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
don't try to fix it, man.
Well, I mean, I know you're saying it ain't broke, don't fix it, but they almost went bankrupt, so it's a little broke. I'm just saying, man. I think that they're going to try something different, and I think it's going to be like something you do co-op. I think they're going to try to do something like that. I don't know. That's just my feeling. I have a weird feeling about it. Because everybody's like Ninja Theory, they're going to fix the story thing, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they're going to want to try to do something different.
That's a good point. I can see that.
So yeah, I think that, and then who else is there? Undead Labs obviously is going to do that. They're going to do zombie stuff. Compulsion Games, we'll see. I have no expectations for Compulsion Games. We'll see what they do. Obsidian, I think that this game's going to be the last game that they launch multiplat, and then they're going to bring out some. Yeah, then they're going to bring out something legit.
Yeah, it's been confirmed that they had a 1-game deal. So it was a 1-game deal.
People gonna be real pissed off if Outer Worlds just takes the fuck off, and then the next game is just Xbox exclusive, and that's gonna be very interesting to see.
I could give 2 fucks if people get mad about that. Like I really could. Like whatever. Then I guess get a PC or an Xbox, right? Like, I mean, why would they be mad? Every one of them has a PC apparently. With that can hover in the fucking air and make cocaine for them.
PS,
they have the best one ever.
I don't know. That's gonna be very, 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 very fucking interesting. Let's go ahead and roll this question over to Fuzzy, man. What's going on? What do you think, man? What do you think?
I definitely think the first few that are going to launch outside of like the Obsidian with the Outer Worlds. Of the studios, that's going to be the first one to actually put something out. But I think between Coalition and Ninja Theory, I think they're both going to have something possibly late next year. I'm under the impression that Ninja Theory's got their other game that they were working on all this time, not exactly close to wrapping it up, but at least about less than a year away, possibly. As far as when it comes to Turn 10 and Playground games, you guys are right. They're going to postpone doing any Forzas for a while. They're really working or reworking the engine on Forza Motorsport. So that way they're updating Collision. And for all of those, keyboard racers that always used to say that Gran Turismo was the better racing game online, I think Forza is going to have something for them. They're working with some licensed racing organizations as well as updating their online interaction, so that way there's going to be penalties and things like that. So you're going to see Forza Motorsport become more of a true sim, more so than Gran Turismo. But it'll be interesting to see, the Twitter wars on that one. Playground, whether it's Fable or their other idea for the open world game, I think that might be not too far behind Ninja Theory's game, especially if it's not Fable. When it comes to Compulsion, no idea, but I think whatever they'll make will be a good, I hate to use the word filler, but I think it'll be a good, spot for Game Pass, whatever it winds up being. When it comes to Undead Labs, they'll just do State of Decay 3. And this time they'll have the budget and the servers and all the tech to really make that game. I mean, the game is fun to play as is, as far as State of Decay 2 now. If they can just have the extra oomph or help for graphical stuff and server stuff, I think, even though I know a lot of people are kind of getting a little tired of zombie stuff, I think they'll have it in the bag with what will be kind of like, I look at Dying Light 2, or not Dying Light 2, but Dying Light as like the pinnacle of zombie games. I think State of Decay 3 is going to knock it off its podium.
Wow.
Trying to think what other studios. In Excel or or
In Exile.
What is it?
In Exile.
In Exile. I think they're going to have something more so for PC and for Game Pass. What is it? Innovation, not innovation. What is
Initiative?
I can't even. Initiative. Oh, I'm bad with names today. Initiative. They're going to be probably about the mid, or do a launch about midway or mid cycle in the next gen. I think whatever they do, it's going to have a lot of hype around it. It's going to have a high expectation, but I think that whatever it winds up being, they'll probably wind up delivering, and it will be,
Oh my
the
God.
game that people talk
Thinking
about and try to
it,
compare with like Last of Us and
crazy.
stuff like that. But
Just thinking about it right now, it's crazy.
I think that's kind of where things are. Everybody at first party studios are probably got their nose to the grind now. They've already talked with Phil, given their ideas and some of their hopes and dreams and budget request stuff, and within the next year or so, we'll start seeing a steady drip or steady flow of new first party games and things. So it's going to be interesting. Game Pass is going to be picking up a lot of subscribers over the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. That's another big thing too. Game Pass plays into that very, very, very well. So I think I share a lot of you guys' sentiment as far as where everybody's at. Ninja Theory, I think we're going to see something from them very soon, if not at E3. Probably at some event next year. I think we're going to see what they've been working on, what they had in the chamber. Obviously, we knew that they were working on other things because it only took, I think, 20 people to make Hellblade. I think 25 people, something like that. And the other 100 were doing something else. So the initiative, obviously, I think the initiative is going to do something. Somebody just said in the chat, revolutionary. I think it was you, Zalker, in the chat just said revolutionary. I think that's what they're shooting for. When they say quadruple A, we've never heard that term until they said that. We've never heard that term. So when they say quad A, that's something else. Like, I have no idea what that could even potentially mean. I mean, I don't know what that is, but to me, I think
that's Red Dead and like what God of War has been.
Oh yeah, it has to be. There's nothing less. For
quadruple A.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And then Obsidian, we've seen what they've done. It has been confirmed that was a one-game deal with Take-Two, so that wasn't. I don't know if we're going to see a sequel to Other Worlds, because that was a one-game deal with Take-Two to publish that game. So who knows what happens? It is going to be kind of weird if Other Worlds ends up being a really great game. Them just kind of abandoning it, with that being like the only one ever made, that would be kind of awkward. But once again, whatever they make from that point on is going to be exclusive. So, like fucking Soccer said,
they came out with Other Worlds trying to swing their dick. I mean, I kept laughing at the fact that
that's
the phrase "original Fallout creators" was thrown around so much. Yeah. I love that.
That's Take-Two. That's Take-Two looking across the water, saying, "Oh, we see what's going on with Bethesda. Let's hold on. Let's hold on to this franchise," because I know Phil walked in. I know Phil saw that Other Worlds. I know he saw that when he went there to have that discussion. I know he saw what they were working on, and I'm sure he tried to get that thing exclusive. If it wasn't part of the deal, I'm sure he brought it up as part of the deal essentially. And I think Take-Two held that because they saw what was going on with 76 and saw, okay, we need something like this on the books. We're publishing this. We're going to be making a lot of money from this. If it hits right, we'll play on the Fallout situation, and we'll make a whole lot of money if that thing actually works the way it should work, and it feels like Fallout, like how it should be. Oh boy, they're gonna have a good one.
Isn't that what Obsidian's been trying to do for a while? Like a real online Fallout type game?
Yeah, well, Zarker, you got.
I know they were looking to do Stormlands at the beginning of the Xbox launch, but that it wasn't necessarily the same type of like apocalyptic environment type of thing.
That was an MMORPG, right? Like a massive.
Yeah. So it was more like dragons and knights and things like that, but like hundreds of players in an open world where it was more of like public events, like what you have in Destiny, but everybody's working together against like the dragon that pops up in the area or the wizard that pops up in the area type of thing. And then you would get like a clip of your story or your activity sent to you, and that would be part of your lore, and that's how you would build your reputation and things. So
who was making this?
Obsidian.
That was what Obsidian was supposed to make for Xbox back based on the original launch. Like that was supposed to be a 2014, 2015 game that they just couldn't get the server aspect of it nailed down in time for a launch. And then I think by that point, since Matrix was out and things were kind of falling apart or people were kind of, shying away from Xbox, that game kind of went away. It never really saw post-production type of stuff. So it was kind of like that idea that they had and accepted the pitch, and then it just kind of went in the ether after Matrick went away. But I'm pretty sure since Phil was the kind of like the Matt Booty of the time, I'm pretty sure he was working with them or talking with them about it, and at some point was probably like, yeah, they cut my budget, so yeah, we're out. So I would like to see them do something along those lines if they now have the tech and the ability to do it. I think that's something that they can definitely revisit and hopefully knock it out of the park, like the way I think Outer Worlds is going to do.
Hey, you guys, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Obsidian's a big studio. Like In Exile was like 70, 80 people, and they're trying to get to like 110. Obsidian's like 180. And they're hiring more people apparently, and that's 200 people. That's as much as the Coalition, and I think the Coalition just got to 300 or something like that or more. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of developers in house. That can make a pretty damn big game.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
They are still hiring. I know this to be a fact.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's funny because I want to throw a monkey wrench in this. This is probably going to be the last thing we talk about here today on the show. Shout out to everybody that came and watched us. But the monkey wrench is that Clobrill tweet. Shout out to Clobrill. He's been pretty high batting average. The tweet about the fact that we may see another game, a beloved franchise or something that we've seen in the last 4 years. Remember we were sitting here talking about just a minute ago, potentially Fable and everything like that. Like that kind of throws a monkey wrench on who could actually be working on that. So I kind of want to close with that question essentially on what we knew before he dropped that tweet, because he's been pretty, I don't know how accurate that is, but he's been pretty spot on in everything he's dropped thus far. So I don't have no reason not to believe it. But how do you guys think that, like, what could that be and how could that affect like what we knew previously? Because we were almost certain they were doing Fable as far as what the heck? I can't think of this studio. No, but yeah, as far as in Playground Games working on Fable, we were sure, but now there's kind of some back and forth about maybe they're not. So what do you guys think that comes in? Where that tweet about the new game, the beloved game being made.
That Playground is working on?
Not Playground. He said there's a deep in development of a beloved franchise Xbox gamers are going to get in the next.
That they've seen in the last 4 years.
That they played and that you've probably played it in the last 4 years, and it's a beloved franchise. I already know what it is. Yeah, Killer Instinct 2. I think it's that. I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to launch either.
How long ago was season 3?
Long time ago, man. They need to update the. I don't even think it's like X enhanced that well. Like I think they need to change that. Like they're
I honestly haven't started that game in so long.
No, I know.
It would make sense. They haven't. I haven't really been hearing anybody talk about Killer Instinct in a while, and it's kind of odd because Microsoft was like 100% behind that and low key pushing it and supporting it.
Well, didn't Iron Galaxy get bought by Amazon?
I have no idea.
What?
I just think it's Killer Instinct because of. If you put in the 4 years, people have played Killer Instinct. It's been around, and it's not going to be Insomniac's game, the Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
it's not going to be that. It can't be Rise because Xbox don't own those IPs, and so I have to look at
Quantum Break, but I don't think it's that either.
No, I think Remedy's relationship with Xbox is kind of done. I think Xbox realized that they're too expensive. One, they take a long time to make their games, and they don't sell well.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of done. I think it's Killer Instinct.
Okay, cool. Anybody got another opinion? Fuzzy?
I would like for it to be Rise, but like Zucker said, they don't own that IP. I know they're working with Crytek Crytek now for Hunt. Was it Shadow Hunt? No, Hunt Showdown or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to at least get that. But I was hoping with us getting that would kind of open up talks again for Rise. But I would really like to see another Rise, followed by like a Sunset Overdrive. Killer Instinct I'm fine with too because I do like fighting games. I got Dragon Ball Fighters, and I also wound up buying Street Fighter 5 on PlayStation, which why are they doing ads? Was it a phone game?
That shit looks so
like I could see that for a phone game, but come on,
terrible.
seriously,
It has to be a free to play. We ain't even gotten to that, but anyway, go ahead, finish it. Yeah.
No, but I really wish it was Rise, and like Zucker said, it can't be Quantum Break because, well, there's a Quantum Break too. It's called, what is it, Control. So that's already coming out, and we'll see how well that does. I think if that one breaks the mold and sells well, then maybe Xbox will reconsider working with them. But yeah, I think they kind of screwed the pooch when they kind of scrapped the story and went with like a real star for the main character, and just the budget was like, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn it was somewhere over the 120 mil range.
Wow.
For cost of that game between advertising and just raw expense, and I don't think it made half that back. So yeah, I don't think Remedy's anywhere near working with Microsoft again.
Yeah, I believe that as well. I believe that as well. So yeah, I'm not a huge Sam Lake fan as well. So I think he's a little eccentric. He's kind of like a European Kojima. You know, in my opinion, a little eccentric, gets a little too ahead of himself. Makes great games. Used to make great games. Still does. Very talented, but just is, Kojima thinks anything he does is, fucking, I don't know, the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sam Lake has a little bit of that in him.
We're not going to bash Kojima on this show.
I'm not. I understand. I get it. Listen.
Most overrated developer. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. No. We ain't gonna open them doors. Please, we'll save them for the undercard next week. All right, undercard. No, but anyway, guys. Yeah, but I completely agree with you guys' opinions on that. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show here. We want to thank everybody for coming out, rocking with us here today. Everybody that joined us live. Once again, on your way out, make sure you clean your feet on your way out. Say bye to everybody. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna let everybody here talk. Get their essentially their last thing out. So Fuzzy, we're gonna go ahead and start with you, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, G.
You can find me on Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere, or you can find me on Xbox Live, Fuzzy Space Belvedere. Probably wrapping up Forza now because I don't have any more room for any more cars, and until they do the update, I'm kind of stuck. But enjoying the game, enjoying Fortune Island. Yeah, you'll probably see me playing that to get some more, or finally diving deeper into Red Dead. So look forward to playing games online.
Awesome. And then our special guest, Lazy, man. I know it's your second time coming on the show, man. Always appreciate you on here, brother, every single time, man. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out, man.
I appreciate you having me, man. I think this is like my third, maybe fourth.
Second or third? Maybe, is it? Man, bro,
I think so.
I stay losing track. I know recently you were on, but it could be 3 or 4, man. We do these things like pancakes, man. They hot and moving. So let me give yourself a shout out, G.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Shout out to chat. I see a couple people in there. I know what's going on. Betterman, what's going on. Cyber. You can find me on Twitter at Lazy Black Gamer, or on Mixer under Lazy Black Gamer as well. Twitch every once in a blue moon. Lazy Black Gamer guy. Shit, I don't have too much going on. I mean, catch me on Twitter. I might be doing a couple of giveaways since we coming to the holidays. Also, I think I might be. I'm trying to get to that 400,000 gamer score, so I might be doing a stream. Might be giving away some little goodies there too. So check me out, man.
Cool. And once again, I appreciate you on the show today, man. Taking that time out, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. As once again, you're always welcome on, man. No matter what, bro. So let's go ahead and drop it into Wonder Boy. I appreciate that fax. I see the fax and the email got through to your publicist. You're able to come on the show today, man. I appreciate that.
You almost didn't make the cut. All right?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Last minute there, I had to call in that favor, man. Like, hey, please let him come on today. I know he got 3 commercials, a whole movie, everything else he got to do. Go ahead, and give yourself a shout out, Soccer.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Zalker87, and you guys can always find me here on the PTK Blam Shopcast. We have a good damn time. And you go to my channel, Zalker87. I put out videos when I can. I'm 3 subs away from 400.
Hey, nice, brother. Nice.
Get that going.
Nice.
Let's get that going. If you can, you guys share it out. That'd be cool. It's just annoying looking at it. I'm like, just get there, you son of a bitch. So yeah, man, great show, everybody. Thanks for coming, chat. You guys are fucking awesome. Everybody in the panel, you guys are awesome. Yeah, man, it's a fun time, man. Cool topics and different, twisted. I love it.
Oh yeah, love it. Always doing something different every week. And once again, the host with the most, your boy PTK Blam. PTK Blam across the board on everything. First name, last name on Twitter. Once again, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm actually 8 subscribers away from hitting 1,100, guys. So let's make that happen. So Zalker is not the only one that kind of has a goal in mind. So I'm right there too, and I hate looking at that number. So let's get to a nice round 1,100 before the end of the year, guys. So thank you for the continued support here. We're going to be back next week with the same great gamers, same great topics, man. Maybe a new special guest as well. So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of it. We're out of here. Peace out, everybody.
Later.
Later.